Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 63 of Run to the Hills, sponsored by Chia Charge. This week, Gary talks his beloved Bob Graham round to Dougie Zinis. Not only did Dougie go round once, he loved it so much, he went round again. Hold on to your hats, is another Bob Graham love fest.
It's a Bob Graham round orgy, Eddie.
Oh, don't say that word. Don't laugh too hard. Right, Gary's got some big sad news, everybody. Come on.
We had a little visit from the COVID fairy on, well, officially I was diagnosed Sunday night. So, yeah, before the Strava police jump all over me for being out walking wrecks. I didn't feel great, so I was walking wrecks.
You must have felt really bad not to be running. Like I know if I will run unless it's like bronchial pneumonia.
Yeah, well, I was asking Lisa, what's the protocol? Is it above the chest? You can run?
Yeah, I normally go like, if it's on my chest, I wouldn't run because that's quite dangerous, isn't it? But if it's just like a head cold, I feel okay. Yeah. Keep it really easy because sometimes you feel a little bit better as long as it's really super easy. Really, you should rest.
Well, this is it. And I exercise. I've tried with the YouTube channel, not putting videos out. That was a kind of exercise and a bit of self-control. And then actively, well, basically, I postponed. I was supposed to do a session on Thursday, and I felt kind of go back again. Literally, I was smugly saying how great I felt last time we spoke.
Yes, many people noticed you were a smug fitness guy. Yeah, that's what I told you.
Was that
SFG, smug fitness guy.
What was that? Was that Wednesday? Well, the wheels fell off Thursday tea time. I think I started to, I didn't feel bad, but I thought, I'll put the workout wasn't massive. The workout was supposed to be 15-minute tempo runs. I thought, that's not going to be a big kind of grey cloud over my head if I do that on Friday. So I thought I'd put it off a day. I ran Thursday, felt, not great, but just felt like I had a bad cold. And then Friday, went downhill again. So I didn't do it. And that's when, like I say, I exercised that. If I was a coach and I had an athlete asking me what I should do, I would say to them, you know what, you've done, crikey, maybe a decade of long runs and sessions. If you have a week or 10 days, you'll be okay in the scheme of things. So I didn't do it. And then Friday night was like the worst night of my life. I felt really bad. Not great, like hot, shivering, then cold. And I got ready, did all the rituals of this kind of runner trying to keep hold of his long run on a Saturday. I had my compression tights on, my calf guards, my kit, everything. I was sitting on the end of the bed, procrastinating, but fully intended to go out the door. And I just thought, no, I just can't. It was just trying to be a bit more in control of myself. I'm guilty sometimes of running when maybe I shouldn't, definitely when I shouldn't. I just thought if this wasn't COVID, I didn't know it was COVID at the time. And the risk against rewards, it didn't really make sense to run. And a few years ago, I think 100% would have ran. But I thought, no, I'm going to not do it. See if the world still keeps spinning if Gary doesn't do his Saturday run. And it did keep spinning, fortunately. And I thought, I'm not going to do any strengthening and conditioning. And I didn't run Sunday too. I think I probably could have run Sunday. I didn't feel too bad, but I thought, no, let's just have a bit of self-control. And Sunday night then we got the ping from the track and trace, whatever it is, whatever that COVID police app thing is. And then I spent about 40 minutes today reliving my past week with someone from the NHS, telling them everywhere I've been and people I've seen and stuff like that. So not ran, not done any exercise since Friday, and I am under house arrest really now, I think until next Monday. So when this goes out Friday, there won't be that much left of it to go, but it's mega frustrating because obviously we're in the thick of it now of Valencia Marathon. So that's all. Come on, coach, give me something.
It's all over, man. It's all over.
I'm just mega frustrated. I don't want to trigger people because everyone has their own thoughts on this whole pandemic. And I thought, well, my immediate reaction is because I'm quite a reactionary person that when I get out of this isolation, I'm not going to see anybody. I'm not going to do anything. I don't want to run the risk of not going to Valencia through maybe socializing. But my 2 children go to school. And as much as I might avoid people, one school have to wear face masks. The other school, they don't wear face masks. It's so inconsistent from the very top, our leader, right down to the people on the street. And I just find the whole thing really inconsistent and really frustrating. And I don't really want to say much more than that. But what does every runner do that can't run, Eddie, is buy some shoes.
Oh.
So I've tried.
Oh. I knew you had bought shoes, but I wasn't sure if Lisa knew. So I was going to go, oh, what do you do, in case you went, oh, I'm going to do loads of core work.
Well, I'm waiting for the doorbell to ring, so she'll know sooner or later. But you either enter races, don't you? When you can't run, you enter races, or you buy some.
That are totally inappropriate and too close to either you're injured or you're ill, but you'll be like, I'm going to make up for this. I'm going to make up.
So I bought some shoes, so hopefully they're wing it today. I should get them today, so it'll be quite nice. But what is super good news is I sold some medal hangers. My little
it's not all doom and gloom.
But a little relaunch of my medal hanger business, I suppose. A soft relaunch. I this is too much admin, but I made the website live, and I'm not really very up to speed on e-commerce, and I forgot to check boxes on the back end of the e-commerce site. So people were buying things and they were getting extras for free, in a nutshell.
What, like your house, a car?
Yeah, basically, yeah. So I'm losing money every sale. So hopefully I've corrected all of that. So now I'm getting paid accordingly. But it was wicked just to get the website's one thing. That's been going. But I created a little Etsy shop, which I thought, well, let's do a little Etsy shop. And I got a ping on my Etsy app, 7:00 last night or something, as I was crying myself into a Sunday evening. I got a little positive notification from Etsy. But I can generate work, but I just can't do any work. So it's a real frustrating thing as far as that's concerned. But yeah, no running since Friday, but lots of stuff.
And how are you feeling? Do you feel ill?
It's tons better than what I was, but yeah, I just feel like I've got a real rotten cold. I've not lost the appetite. I can taste things still. All those kind of classic symptoms of people did get. I've been double vaxxed, so I'm really annoyed.
I can tell you've never talked so much at the intro to the podcast. It's normally me, and you're raging. You're on
yeah,
I'm trying to say you're on the permanent send.
Oh yeah, well this
talk to anyone apart from the NHS cord for a few days.
I've had this chat with Lisa, but yeah, I feel okay. I just got a really heavy, stinky cold. Yeah, that's it. That's my week, and that's a bit too negative. Come on, Eddie, you a bit more positives from Eddie now. Back to running.
Come on.
You had an epic. My goodness me.
Come on, kudos. I did have a nice little message from you, thank you, on the second morning when you went. I was sitting at the table with my Theragun on my butt, going, oh God, I don't want to. Don't make me go out there again. But it was all fun.
For runs like that, you need like a double kudos or a super kudos on Strava. I think
that would be good, like a flashing golden. Because often, I don't know if you notice this on Strava, but sometimes if I do mega runs, they don't get as much kudos as another one where I think that was really easy, and I do some mega. And then I'm like, come on, guys, that was mega. Hurry up, let's start that kudos up. But yeah, so last time we talked, I was a bit nervous, wasn't I? I was heading out into the dark for my dark run, and into the snow blizzard, which was a snow blizzard many times over. But that was good. I mean, there were some highs, there were some lows, as there is all of it. There was a lot of snow on the ground up round us. So I sort of did the first hour in the twilight with the dogs running around, trying to find bits of non-snowy bit. And the snow wasn't quite deep enough that you could run on it. It was just over the rocks. So it was a little bit sketchy. Yeah. And then I put my head torch on, came back, dropped the dogs off, and then thought, I'm going to do a bit of a lap now and head down a little bit and then back up higher. that's when the snow blizzard really hit. And you know what it's like running in with a head torch? Well, you probably never run in a head torch with the snow, but the white reflects off the head torch. You're totally blinded.
Yeah.
My eyes. So a few things I've learned need, if it is snowing, I'm going to need like either a cap or some sort of like ski goggles.
Yeah.
I couldn't see anything.
Oh my goodness.
And then I looked at the time to see when I put my head torch on. So I thought I had a bit of a dodgy battery, and I thought I'll see how long it is. I shouldn't need to change it because I'm only out for 4 hours. But after an hour and a half, it started doing the thing. I was like, oh no, I'm in the snow blizzard. How am I going to change this? So I let it fit, and I like hit it a few times. So I thought maybe it's just a bit of a faulty connection.
Dodgy connection.
Dodgy connection. Anyway, I was quite high up, massive snow blizzard, and it just went dead.
Oh my goodness.
So I had my mittens on because it was really cold by now. And so I was like, right, how am I going to, I put my spare battery in my front pouch because I thought you don't want to be taking your backpack off and change. Yeah. That was the one bit of good admin that I did. But then I had no light to change the battery.
What do people... Disaster movie this is.
This is disaster movie. So I got my phone in my teeth and turned the torch on. It was absolutely freezing. So it was like freezing my teeth. Of course, like I can't do that in the race because it's not, the phone will die anyway because it will be freezing. Managed to change the see my plait, if you're listening, listeners. So I had my hair in a plait, but the ends of it had caught round the back of the head torch, then back round and into the zip of my jacket. So my head torch was hanging off my head with my hair entwined in like this bowl of fury. I couldn't see, and I just had my phone in my mouth. I can't get it away. So I had to rip half my ponytail off. I left a chunk of hair. If anyone skis in Morzine on Piece B and sees a chunk of hair, it's mine. I was like, I don't know what to do. Got the battery back in, ate my twirl, did eat my twirl, everyone. It was so good. May I recommend a twirl for as long as it's cold, run, because it is hard on the outside.
Yeah.
Ate the whole thing, not a problem. Got the head torch back in, finished off probably what felt like the longest 35k. So I'd been a bit cocky and gone, it's not going to take me 4 hours, 35k. And I did have 1,200 meters of climbing on it, but it did take 35k, and I turned into my driveway at 9 o'clock at night. Mildly. I wasn't actually too hypothermic. I was just, my eyes were really sore from the snow pelting into my face. And then I got back and everything, a cup of tea, pasta, good old husband. What a ledge. Shower.
Had you kind of kept in touch with
No, I didn't, because I couldn't do any more admin, because I was like, if I have to take these gloves off one more time, I'm gonna cry. I thought I'll just sort it out, but he was on it. He was on it. So, and I hadn't actually seen him because he'd been away and we just crossed paths. So it was all quite complicated. Anyway, he was on it. And then I just ate and sat on the sofa staring at stuff, going, got to go to bed because I've got to get up in but of course you don't sleep. So I went to bed about midnight, and then I didn't really sleep because I knew I was really dehydrated and a bit hungry, and I knew what was coming 8 hours later. And so then I got up and had 40k to do, again 40k or 5 hours, whichever came first. And it was actually much better the second day because the sun was out. It was due to snow, but it didn't. We just sort of had a bit of cloud, but a bit of sun. So I still had to run a bit on the snow, but at least it wasn't eye-wateringly snow.
And company the second run, though,
and I had some company. So the kids had a football, we call it a stage. What would you call it here? Training club thing. So dropped them off there, and then I had some mates who very kindly in their off season agreed to run with me and put themselves in the pain cave for me, which I was so grateful for.
And they went the whole 5 hours?
One came halfway and one came the whole way with me.
Oh, that's good.
So that was good, because also she hadn't run, she casually just done an Ironman a few weeks before, but had a bit of off season. So she was like 40k. So it was really kind of her. Yeah. But I just felt a bit like, I tried to explain it to them, like I was in a bit of third gear, and then every time the path kicked up, I'd be like, when you put in the wrong gear, and I'd be like, oh, come on, I could not get, I think I think that I hadn't been able to replenish the blood glucose and the glycogen. So there was literally nothing.
Yeah.
There was no, but I did manage to run the whole way. Cool. Or I ran all the ups. I just was stuck in in one pace. I was like, come on. We did the sort of hilly bit first, and the snowy bit first. Then we ran back down to town, and there's a lovely lake you can run round, which is about 1,800 meters, so it's quite high, the altitude. So we sort of ran around that, and I had to start taking the jelly babies, and I kept thinking, oh, I can run a bit faster, but I could not get out. I was running like 520k, 530k, 520k, and it felt like I was running about 420k.
Yeah, your gap was good though. I saw your gap time. It wasn't like for that kind of elevation, Eddie. I think for that terrain,
I think it was okay. I think the best thing that came out of it was that, one, I loved it. Oh my God. I dipped myself into the pain cave and I was like, I like it here. Yeah. I loved it. Even in the last, I would say the last 5K was fine because, it's the last 5K. But even in the midst of that second day when I was just shoving jelly babies into my mouth and just my glutes were on fire, but I was like, oh, God, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Anywhere else. And I didn't get any slower. I mean, but I was slightly, I thought I'd have a bit more. I thought, I'll tick off these last few Ks. And I was like, come on. Nope. There is absolutely
nothing. But it's the end of a massive you
said the right thing. Yeah, it was massive. So then when I look back and I was like, in the last 7 days, I've run 93 miles with about 15,000 feet of elevation plus 8 hours biking and a couple of hours strength. So
wow.
When I sat down and went, I feel shagged. And then I looked at the top amount I'd done. I was like, okay, yeah. So I was going to feel pretty tired, which was the aim of the game.
Yeah.
So, so it went really well. I would like to say also I wouldn't advise that sort of training for most people because it takes a ton out of you. You need to be really on your nutrition. You need to be able to have the ability to rest before, to rest after. And I've done loads and loads and loads of long distance stuff. But normally I wouldn't normally prescribe that sort of thing. It was a very individualized a session to me of the what I wanted to get out of it. So, because it really would deplete your immune system.
So you wouldn't find that session on the Runner's World, how to run an ultra
couch to 10K, because you have to be so on top of your nutrition as you're doing that second day. Yeah. You have to be, I was like throwing it in because your body's just relying on that constantly being fed. And you could come away from that being like, take you quite a long time to recover.
I've enjoyed those, but I've done a couple of those big days, say out in the Lake District. I might have ran to a youth hostel, slept the night, and then ran back to the car the following day, but not in that kind of cold conditions. It's been, summery time. Maybe for you, you're saying about the head torch in the snow. What about like a little handheld torch? I know one of the guys, I think on our failed Bob Graham round, he had a little handheld torch too, and it just got that light below his kind of chest, and I think that really helped with not just having this white outfit.
Hey, I'll see. At the moment, there's no snow on the forecast, so that's it now. But what I am going to do is I've got my little Petzl bindi, which is about as useful as a chocolate teapot for actually lighting anything. Yeah. But I'm going to take the string off it and attach it to my pack.
Yeah, good idea.
And so then I always have a light. When the head torch fails, I've got a light. Because I don't really want to have to get my phone out at all.
No.
So I'll have a little light to do the admin. I learned loads of stuff about kit, admin, gloves, where you want stuff.
Yeah.
The night, it was all good learnings. And I came out of it. I mean, I was really tired, but no niggles, just
brilliant
tiredness. So sat my
bike. That's good. It's good you point that actually with your bag admin and location of things where just where you put your waterproof trousers. I know you might need them if it's really bad, but more often than not, you don't need them. So there's no point putting them in the top if you're going to have your waterproof jacket in the bottom. It's like you just good bits of admin.
Exactly. It's all good. It's all good admin practice. So yeah, that didn't run for a day. Woo, Gary.
Great.
No, 2 days. I didn't run for 2 days. Sat on my bike, beauty of cross training, sat on my bike. And then I had a jog with some mates yesterday, filled my soul. And then this morning I had an optional session or a dog run. Guess which one I did?
Dog run.
Dog run. Went out. I was like, I'm going to warm up and then I'll see if I want to do this session. And then I was like, why would you do a session if you had the choice? I was like,
yay.
It's actually really icy. It's freezing in the morning now. So I've got a big session to do tomorrow. So I need to go out a bit later, which I hate doing at like lunchtime so that the ice can get off the path.
Weather's turned quite quick, hasn't it? From a little dusting and snow to really icy.
Really cold mornings. So it's like -4 or 5 in the morning before the sun comes up. And then now we're recording this at lunchtime. It's like 10, 12 degrees.
Yeah.
It's madness, Gary. It's madness. Anyway, thanks for your love. Thanks for your support for the days. And one more long run this week. And then next week, 2-week taper. Let's talk race results. We wanted to give a quick shout out. I know loads of race directors listen to this wanting their race results read out, but we've searched for some race results that we want to read out, but we can't find them.
Yeah.
Please make your race results easy to find.
Yeah, we record Monday, Tuesday, and we do struggle sometimes to find results. So that's, if you're not getting a shout out, it's not because we're avoiding you. It's because we're finding it hard to find your results.
Right, who should we read first? Kim Cavill. We wanted to give her a shout out because she entered the 1,000 miles covered over the Hardmoors races. This something you'd like to try, Gary?
Well, yeah, it would be great actually. And I think Kim was surprised herself that she hadn't completed 1,000 miles earlier. Yeah, I don't know if
I get a special prize. Do you get like a medal or something?
I think you get a bit of paper or something that says 1,000 miles. I don't know if it's a plaque or a certificate or something like that. I'm not going to knock certificates. I've got my favorite certificate behind me. I do love a certificate. So if 1,000 miles, I really would have thought you'd have done it a while ago, but I might be on about 500 miles with Hardmoors. Long way to go, but great to see. Katie Cars Sebastian. Did I get that right-ish? Good enough?
Yep, perfect.
She won the Gotland Trail Marathon in 4 hours and 39 minutes. Was she, sorry, Eddie, was she the outright winner or do we?
No, I don't think she was the outright winner. But again, we're struggling to find the result. You managed to find the results for that. We knew she'd won it and we wanted to give her a shout out because
great series.
We chatted to her just before she had her first baby a few months ago. And we've been I've especially been following her comeback trail. And she's been really slowly building up the miles and being very sensible about it, but is obviously dead keen to get back on racing the trail. So a great comeback. And I'm going to ping her a message soon and ask her to come on the show and tell us all about it. Thanks, Katie.
Yeah. Then we move over to the Lake District for the Kong 2 Rigs Fell race, and Daniel Howarth and Scout Adkin took the wins for the men and the women there. And
down south. This is about down south. Wendover Woods 50. Teammate Charlie Harper works at Kew Gardens, is a horticulturist, I think.
Oh, it's an interesting job.
Nothing he doesn't know about plants. He won the men's race and Rachel Fossett won the ladies' race.
This week's show, we talked to Dougie Zinis. And it was great to talk to Dougie, all about his record-breaking double Bob Graham round. I love geeking out, not once, but twice, going through all the detail.
I can't actually remember why I didn't record this with you. It's not because I didn't want to hear about his Bob Graham story, even though I know moan about it. I think it must have been a holiday.
You're a social butterfly, Eddie. It's hard to pin you down.
I was out. Some sort of party.
But yeah, I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Right, today we have a chat with Dougie Zinis. Dougie recently completed a record-breaking double Bob Graham round. He runs in the red and white stripes or hoops, I'm not too sure what you call it, of Calder Valley Fell Runners. In 2020 Spine Race Challenger winner. Completed the Paddy Buckley and the regular. It's funny you just say, and just the regular Bob Graham round, but and loads of stuff along the way too. Hopefully that's all correct, Dougie. Welcome to the podcast. How are you? Where are you? And have you been for a run today?
Not today yet. Maybe later. I'm in Big House in West Yorkshire in Calderdale.
And it's Calderdale. I'm just trying to get some geography Oh my goodness. So West Yorkshire, yeah, big town nearby, or kind of Halifax area.
Halifax, yeah.
Yeah. So that's quite undulating, isn't it? You've got some good.
Yeah, it's lovely hills everywhere we go. There's not many flat running around here.
Is it? This is a bit of trivia. Is it? Cat's eyes. They kind of the cat's eyes you see on the road. They're from Halifax.
Yeah. Percy Shaw from Halifax.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, listeners. That's a pub quiz question, that isn't it? Well, I'd love to talk about the double Bob Graham round, but first, if you could share a bit about your background as a runner, maybe how you got into running. I know you got a relationship with the athletics club. Yeah, I'm sure our guests would love to know a bit about yourself.
Yeah, started running at 28. I was overweight when I was younger. Had a mini stroke when I was 24, and just took the warning. And when I met my wife, she ran in the morning, so I started going down canal, and I couldn't run from one lock to the next. And I think it was 6 years ago I joined Calder Valley, because when I was a teenager, I did a lot of potholing, caving, walking with my dad. Yeah, and obviously you get dragged back naturally into the fells. So what I need is a fell running club. So just down the road, the perfect fell running club. So yeah, it's good. And you can look up to other people and they push you on, and everything's all the achievements everyone's done. It's amazing. Yeah.
And was it always fells?
I think before I started back on fells, I did Abbey Dash and maybe the Spen Valley 10K. I think I did Leeds half as well, actually. I'd had enough of roads by then.
Did you never fancy it? Sometimes I quite enjoy them both. Do you ever not think, I'm going to...
I train quite a bit on them, especially at winter. There's some lovely hills around here where you can get some good hill sessions. You can keep moving very well, and it's good for my fitness.
Yeah, definitely. I think personally, like you say, train on the roads. I do a bit of a mixture. I probably train more like a traditional, say, a marathon runner, but come the weekends, I'll hit the fells if I can get away. I'm kind of conscious not to turn away from doing some speed work. I think that's kind of healthy in the scheme of things. Yeah. I mentioned loads of big challenges and races at the beginning there. Do you have a particular favorite out of those that you think, if I could just only do one of those again, it would be that one?
I like the Paddy Buckley round. Yeah, I've done it twice. First time I got major cramp issues. I started at Capel and I got round to Nampmore, and then going up Heborg, cramp struck, and I just cramped all the way to the next redo, to the next road crossing, and I was ready to pull out, and all the team were ready to pull out. They got 4 litres of water down me, the electrolytes, and they turned around and I'd stood up, and I had 18 hours of dead legs, but I did it in 26 hours that time. I'm more proud of that than doing it the time after, when I knocked 6 hours off my time.
I think sometimes, when you pull through adversity, and I know that, like you say, my Bob Graham round, when I did it, it was pretty uneventful, and it was fantastic. I loved it, but there was no real low point to drag myself out. So the adversity. And did you say you had cramp? Was there a particular reason for that, or it just?
It were very warm. It were on the Capel leg going over to the quaddies. It were 28 degrees, and I sweated so much, and loads of salt come out of me, and I just didn't get enough salt on board. I don't do well with heat. Yeah. And any challenges I do, I like to do either in May or September, because it's a lot cooler. I don't do heat. I really don't. I did Lakeland 100 this year, and it was 32 degrees, and it was horrible.
That was a hot day. I don't know what time you passed through Pooley Bridge. I was hanging around Pooley Bridge with my camera, so I might have.
You might have.
I might have seen you. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that, my goodness me, that was I think Mardale's always a bit of a graveyard for runners, and I think a lot of people started to struggle. I'm not too sure why, but just seems to hold on to the heat around Mardale.
That first evening was horrible.
And just out of curiosity, how did the Lakeland 100 go then? What was your...
got 5th place. First P40. But I had a really big moment on, I think, going over Blacksail.
Yeah.
Head were down. I don't know. I think the heat got to me. I drunk too much water. I think, when you feel like you got to big pregnant stomach. And, when I got down to Braithwaite, I was ready to pull out, but then I found a bowl of strawberries, and I said to myself, well, it's not far to Blencathra.
Yeah.
If I just take some Coca-Cola, 500 ml of Coke, 500 ml of water, I won't have no water.
Yeah.
Just keep sipping the Coke. And as I went on, my stomach went down. And by the time I got to Blencathra, it was 15 degrees, my kind of temperature. So,
yeah.
And then it's runnable, isn't it, all the way to my,
I see. That's a good section after that.
So just got me down and smashed it.
Any people who fancy the Leighton 100, that is a good point. You see, it's not too far. There isn't like these enormous sections between checkpoints, is it? What you might be looking to say 8 miles could be the maximum.
Yeah, 8 or 10, I think, something like that. But you can just tick them off nicely.
Yeah,
it's a bit daunting at first, but once you get down to 7, you get 6, and you start getting excited. Then
that was my favourite part, actually. But to me, Braithwaite, Blencathra, I loved when you kind of climb up the trig and there's a kind of a big horseshoe before you come back to, and I could just see a couple. I think I might have been into the top 15, so it wasn't like really busy, but you could just see your head torch, and it was such a magical. It was a nice evening too. It was such a magical experience. I'll never forget that. It was lovely. That was. Later on, it got a bit dicey, but
really good.
Yeah, double Bob Graham. You know, I loved my day, and like I said, it was pretty non-eventful. But I've not got any. I've got maybe a little. Maybe I do it anti-clockwise, but not a double Bob. Yeah. When did you start kind of hatching that plan?
One of my friends, he knows what I'm like, and sometimes if you put stuff in my head, it doesn't go away. So during the first lockdown, he sent me a video of Nicky Spinks on purpose doing a double Bob, and said, "Why don't you do it?" And I told him to shut up, and it bubbled away in my head. And I had the first attempts last year, in between some lockdowns, and I got 80 miles into it. Well, about 50 miles into it, I was going over where would I? Broad Crag.
Yeah.
I was just stretching across, and my back foot slipped, and my hip flexor.
Oh my goodness.
Just went, and like an idiot, I did an extra 20, 30 miles on it. I got on top of seat sandal and reverse, and it just went. And it took my friends 1 hour and 55 minutes to carry me down.
Oh my goodness.
Right, pantomime.
So seat sandal to Dunmail took you an hour to get down?
Yeah, an hour and 55.
Goodness me, you must have been really struggling.
And on Charlie Parkinson's BG other week, a few weeks back, I ran down it in 9 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a quick descent.
Yeah, an hour. It worked well. Of all people, I'm glad it were the people who were there.
Yeah.
They looked after me, and I look back now, it was really comical. But with anyone, it would hurt. But I can laugh about it now. There were a few things I learned about doing the longer distance then as well.
Yeah.
Keeping my footfall, not to get to that point where I can, in case I do slip.
Yeah. And
it also conserves my energy more, which actually I learned from an injury.
Did you was it classic 2 clockwise, or did you do 1 clockwise, 1 anti-clockwise?
Did anti-clockwise first, and then clockwise.
And what was that like coming off? I've chatted about this quite a few times. The thought of coming off Skiddaw on just to say a regular 1 Bob, you got to kind of what could be quite a painful run down Skiddaw if you've got DOMs or something in your legs. What was that
fine? Like? Fine. I break it all down into processes, little bits. So when I'm top of Skiddaw, I'll get into first gate. When I got to first gate, I'll get into bottom gate. Bottom gate, get to Latrig. And then let's say when I got to Moot Hall, touch door, then get back in car park and I can have something to eat. And that was the case. And just take it a little bit at a time. And it's not too daunting then, is it?
It's 2 days. So I appreciate it's quite a lot to remember. But yeah, if you could try your best to talk us through the journey.
Well, so start leg 1, Charlie Parkinson. I only had Charlie. I decided not to have any road support at Honister just to make it easier for road support. So I slept in Honister car park on the night before, Thursday night. And Charlie drove up and we drove down to Keswick and set up. So set off at 7. It was humid, and I got stung by a wasp on the road straight away on my leg. Couldn't believe it, but luckily it didn't react. I mean, I've still got a lump there now, but it didn't react at the time. But yeah, it was good. There were some lovely cloud inversions. Got into Clag on top.
Yeah.
We moved well. We didn't get out of breath once. Paced it really well, and we got to Honister in 2 hours and 7 minutes, I think it was.
Well, it's moving, yeah, it's good.
We did well. And we met Paul Egg and Tom Hollins at Honister.
Yeah.
And we went back up into Clag. It was still quite warm. But yeah, we ticked him off nicely. Good nav. I mean, Tom's a good guy to have on it. He's done it before. He showed me a really good line going down off Gable, down Scree. I've got some ankle gaiters, especially because there's a lot more Scree descending on the anti-clockwise than there is on the clockwise. Okay, yeah. And they came in really handy. A lot of stones that flip up and hit your ankles. Yeah. There were none of that. And yeah, they were a really good addition. So I kept them on all the way around. So yeah, we're good. Same again. Cruised around with some good banter, really good banter. Smiles all around. And we got down into Wasdale. I think it were 1 o'clock. Yeah. Me support got there 5 minutes later. But they've got caught in traffic.
Hard to get into, isn't it? What Wasdale's not the easiest of place in a car. It's sometimes best on foot, to be honest.
I mean, to stop and the same support going back twice, I had 3 people on the road. Yeah. I had Toby on the first 3 leg changeovers. He did really well. He looked after me. So on leg 3 again, we set off. We had Tom Hollins again. He did a double leg. We had another lad called Martin. He's even little than 100 this year. Yeah. And off we went up, straight up, that long climb, Scarfell. Yeah. A never-ending climb, up into Clag. And we were in Clag halfway up, so quite low down. Yeah. We went down Lord's Rake. Okay. Which is it's different, but it's the 3rd time I've gone down it. I've gone up it hundreds of times, but the first time you go down Lord's Rake, it's a little bit different. But
I've never done any of leg 3. Actually, that's a lie. Actually, I went to Bowfell and out and back, but yeah, that second half of leg 3, I've never done that anti-clockwise, and going up to Scarfell and going down Lord's Rake. Yeah, I think
it's different when you go down. I know Martin had never done it before, and it clagged up at the top, so you couldn't see. Oh wow! Where you come up from West Wall Traverse, you couldn't see, and we'd overshot it, so we come back a little bit. Yeah. And he went, right, so where we're going? He goes, we're going down here. Down here. He went, you're having a laugh, are you? I went, no. He goes, no, you're looking at it. No, just come down if it ain't. So off we went down, and it was all right. It was good.
I love it. Sometimes like say at the bottom of Lord's Rake, I just think I can't wait to go up there, and then as soon as I'm in it, I'm like, I just want to get out of here as quick. Just get out as quick as possible. It's
but to look at it. It's probably my favourite part of Lake District. Going up it, you're all right. You got like a handrail all the way up. Yeah. Going to the side. Coming down, you can just dig your heels in and surf down, pretty much down middle. So it's not too bad. You just got to forget about the cliffs.
I'm just waiting for that big rock to dislodge one day. That's going to be
I know. I'm glad I wasn't there when it come down.
Can you imagine that? My goodness, that would be terrifying.
Yeah. So then let's think. Yeah, it were good. We went up to through Walt Scarfell Range. Really well. No falls, which is good. No slips. Flexor, which we're really happy about.
And what was it like underfoot? I know that you were saying about the Clag, but especially the Scarfell with the footwear, and if it is slippy, that completely transforms what's that like to move over. It
wasn't too bad at that time. They were pretty breezy, which kind of dried the rock off on certain sections. There were bits where it was sheltered, were a bit damp, but you just keep away from them bits. And I moved quite well over rocks. Spent a lot of times in rock pools when I was a kid. Come in handy, I think.
All this training that you didn't know was going to come in handy.
Caving playing in rock pools. All meant to be, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We got to Burfell pretty much well. Really good line down Burfell from Tom.
Yeah.
And we filled with water, bottom of Burfell.
That's right, yeah.
And what we found doing it reverse, we found a few different troughs.
Yeah.
Where you don't see it coming the other way. So when we did turn, and I was coming back, I was taking these other troughs, and there's some nice little. They're only little bits.
Yeah.
But psychologically, you're not climbing a little bit. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good to find. We got some good lines. We did. We got a good line off. Found Red Screes off Kirkfell. We found a different line coming down to that, what we'd never seen before. It was just, it's just bizarre how you find them coming everywhere.
There's times I've done certain sections and I could do it 10 times and do it slightly different 10 times and think I know it really well.
Especially in Clag, because you kind of go off to either left or right, don't you?
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. And I was curious, so when you did it clockwise, did you pick up any of those new lines or did you kind of revert back to the classic?
No, well, only a few, couple of what I remembered. By then you're just in zone, aren't you? So you know.
I tend to, like on the recce's, I try and be quite switched on, but on the day, it's a really good nav on leg 2, a guy called Paul Nelson. He helped us, and a good friend of mine on leg 3, David Johnson. I just switched off. I just had so much faith in them.
Follow the legs.
Obviously, there is a time schedule with any Bob Graham, but did you have a conscious, I want to do the first loop in, say, 22 hours, or was it? Yeah, and how were you? Were you on schedule at this point?
I was well up on schedule. The forecast was for night time that we're going to get claggy and windy and rainy. So in the morning, I thought, well, it's got to be pretty dry. It's got to be claggy on top, but I've got some good support for nav.
Yeah.
I know a lot of it myself. So if I can move well without getting out of breath, I'll do that. And by the time I got to leg 3, I was an hour and 40 up on schedule. I did two 22-hour schedules. Yeah. It's only rough, but I knew at night time you get slowed down, and the pressure's not on me then to keep moving fast. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. We got to Dunmail, had a good feed, changed my socks. Yeah. Vaselined up. Got everything I needed, and off we went. I had 3 on that leg. I had Phil, Johnny and Paul Davison, and up we went, and it was a pea super, big time. My mate had 1,000 aluminums on his head, and I couldn't see him 2 meters away.
Well, it just whites out, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's a tough leg, that one, in reverse. So you got from the road, Steel Fell, you're down Fairfield. Yeah. I come down Copper Pike. Okay. And then you've got the big climb up again. So rather than, if you're doing it the other way, you've got your Clough Head, you've got 3 big climbs this way. So if anybody doing it in reverse, I'd say that's a tricky bit if you don't like climbing, but I do. I'm all right. But yeah, we got up to Dolly Wagon, pea super, couldn't see a thing. So instead of trying to do the line around, we dropped down to the path, come back up to Nevermost, just for pure navigation, really.
I think, you're right. It's a good point. In leg 2, for me, I know it quite well. It's probably the leg I've ran the most, just because I live in the northeast, it's easy to park up at Tvelkeld. Yeah. But when the Clag's in, those little cairns, it's like, well, it really does transform it. And when my failed attempt, I can't remember which dot it was, but my goodness me, when I look at the GPX on that afterwards, it's like, what the hell are we doing? It's quite funny. But the thought, like, you made a good point. Fairfield in reverse, and then after Seat Sandal, and then like Dolly Wagon, it's like, this is
Seat Sandal from the road's a long way there.
Yeah.
When you're doing Seat Sandal clockwise, you're already halfway up, aren't you?
That's right. Good point. Yeah.
So it's not as bad. It seems a little lump, but from the road, it's good. It's a good climb. Even when you get to the skyline, where you can see from the road, still a long drag up. And there's 2 walls up there. Don't get confused by them walls. There's one goes down, one goes across.
That's right.
When you come up clockwise, you only remember the one coming up.
Yeah.
So when you come down, you see the one going down, and you're tempted to go down with it, especially at night time. But it's not the one. I've done that before.
Yeah. I think Fairfield's a bit of a mystery at the top of there, as well as a half a dozen kind of
run
points.
around them all, don't you?
Yeah.
Same as Nevermost. Run around them all.
Excellent. Yeah. So we're moving up. We're on the Dollywagon there.
Dollywagons, Nevermost. Yeah, we got them well. Elvellin's easy enough to find.
Yeah.
Then we come down Lower Man, and I can't remember it being that easy coming up. So we'll come down and we've got that good line all the way down. It just seems like a nice steady path. Every time I come up there, it's a little bit of a climb. But again, maybe it's because I was dropping up poles and saving my legs. It made it a lot easier. And we did well the rest of that leg. We hit everywhere, bang on.
Yeah.
We turned at right spot. We didn't have to backtrack at all. And didn't get lost.
I always find it's quite weird when you do these. Every time I've been on the fells at night, you think 99% of the time it's just you and maybe your friends or your support crew, but then you'll just see some like random in a bivvy bag. Any of that kind of?
Yeah, no, not this time. No. When I did my Paddy Buckley in May this year, I did it my second attempt. I did it in 20 hours. They were everywhere. So after one at lockdown, they were everywhere. People bivvy bagging on top of Chiffan.
Yeah, wow.
I nearly stood on somebody in the middle of the night. Sorry.
Yeah, I've seen bivvies. I've seen some guy, this was on Helvellyn, he was a drone pilot, but he was up at like, it was a beautiful sunrise, so it was a lovely place to be. And I think, I'm bloody hell's bells. Why are we so early? Cloughhead, then I suppose you're down to Drelkill. That's quite a...
Yeah, we went down there's a scree beg to the left of the climb. We went down the scree bed. Much to the annoyance, all my friends were saying, "What we come down here for? It's a perfectly good path for her." And I prefer to go down Scree.
When you're coming off the Scree at Scarfell, that's such a fast way down. I've never done it, but I can imagine the benefits of doing it. Yeah. Yeah,
well, there were bigger pieces, so you can't surf as well.
Couldn't surf.
But we got down all right. Bit of grumbling from this part, but I like to smile at them when they grumble. But yeah, they're good. We had a good time. Had a laugh. Two of the lads came on with me, Phil and Johnny, to the next leg.
Yeah.
We dropped down. We had Toby again on good spot at that point. Did well again, cup of tea. I don't think I changed my socks. Can't remember changing my socks.
Yeah.
Off we went. Up Halls Fell. And by then, the wind had started in the rain. So it were like 50 mile an hour wind sideways.
Oh my goodness me!
On Halls Fell, so we lost a bit of time on. Even though we got all the nav all right on leg 4, we lost a bit of time because it was just so claggy. And I said, "Look, don't worry about the speed. I've already made an hour and 40, so in my mind, I wanted a 21 and a 23 hour loops, which would get me around about a recordish if I could keep it up on the second leg." We lost a bit of time. Don't stress. Let's just get nav right. And it worked. Went up. Halls Fell. Horrible conditions for doing it, but we got there eventually. Climbed all the way up. Everyone were all right. Everyone was safe.
Yeah.
We were all laughing all the way up. Had a laugh, and then a long way down to the beck.
Yeah. I prefer that. I prefer that anti-clockwise. Actually, I do. Prefer, I think I can hit the line easier. It seems to.
Yeah, you can get down there now. It's it were interesting with the clag, but if you can get that path halfway down, you've cracked it, haven't you?
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We came rather than going down into Col.
Yeah.
On Blencathra, we just went up and over.
Ah, brilliant.
Straight down and cut across and hit it. Yeah, we got that. Good little.
And then when you, for me, when you get to down the bottom of there, and I suppose maybe a bit ahead of myself, but then you go up Calver, and at the bottom of Calver, in between Calver and Skiddaw, it's very boggy. What was that like, and that kind of terrain?
Yeah, it was boggy. But it's to be expected. It was boggy, but the beck went up. We were ankle deep, a little bit more. just usual really. And yeah, we were good. They were squishy, and it's nice to get a bit of change in
That's true. Yeah.
type as well. And you can't miss the chod on that bobby bit at all. So I think one of the lads went in up to the waist nearly, so that was kind of funny. And it was only short anyhow, so it might have only been ankle deep for me.
Oh.
But yeah, we went on. We went up Calver on over fence side.
Yeah.
Straight up. Nice little climb.
Yeah.
And some nice descent anti-clockwise down there, actually.
Yeah. It's quite common, isn't it? I know people who do it, and I'm not too sure when you do it clockwise, it's quite common for people to kind of hop the fence and chop the corner off, isn't it? That's another. Yeah,
that's where we came. We came up that way, but rather than cut across because it was that claggy, I went and kept it square, using the aid of the fence as navigation. Then down, long climb up to Skiddaw.
Yeah.
A boggy old climb. It's one of them, especially with clag. You've got no point of. All of a sudden, the fence is there, and you're like, hey, what are you?
Yeah.
But top of there, really windy. Must have been gusts about 60 miles an hour, so we didn't mess about. We just got the trig, found the right line round past a little man, up and over. Yeah, good nav again, bang on. And down we went. Went down the trod to the right-hand side rather than on the path.
Okay, yeah.
I once did Skiddaw race, and they stop you coming down the banking, don't they? You have to come down the path, and I fell and broke my ribs, so I didn't want to do that again. So
I suppose they do that on the race, don't they? It's probably for erosion or something on the race.
For erosion, yeah. I lost 3 places on the race for that. But,
and a broken rib.
I made them up on road, but yeah, it hurt.
I'm just curious, I'll point out for our listeners, maybe for a bit of fell safety, what you're saying, it's like 60 gusts and about 60 mile an hour on the top at Skiddaw.
Yeah.
When you're in Threlkeld and then back down in Keswick, personally, I've done that and it's been horrendous at one Skiddaw, but down in Keswick, it's like, I've seen them playing cricket and it's been like a lovely day. And then you go up on the high fell, it's like, my goodness me. So yeah, for a bit of safety, you might think it's lovely in Keswick.
This is why you've got your layers. This is why you've got your windproof, waterproof jackets and gloves.
Yeah.
If you're to have a fall up there, you soon cool down.
What time of day is it now? You're coming off Skiddaw into
dark. We got down, touched Moot Hall. I did the first loop in 21:44.
Yeah.
Anti-clockwise, so I think it was about 4-ish.
And did you, when you set off, I think you said 7 o'clock when you set off, was that all, this is like a lot of people spend a lot of time on this. They want to hit certain parts in daylight and at night time. Was that a tactical decision for yourself, assuming everything went right?
Yeah, if everything went right, leg 3, both ways.
Yeah.
Being right. And it worked out well. And it was a very loose schedule. With the distance and the unknowns, especially with the weather and that.
Yeah.
So I just roughly, that's why I didn't bother doing any different schedules both ways. I did around 22 each way.
Yeah.
I didn't see a point in doing a 21 and a half or 22 and a half because it's never even out there, is it? Half an hour when you.
Oh my goodness me. Yeah, definitely.
And but yeah, it was pretty bang on really. Quarter of an hour off schedule.
And how's your body holding up by then? You know, you
fine. Yeah, all fine. In good spirits. My body felt well. I paced myself well. I'd not pushed above what my body at the time could do.
Yeah.
And I was happy because I knew I've got a very fast walk. I've always had a fast walk. I leave wife and kids behind. I knew I could do a 23-hour speed walk around the rest if I needed to.
Yeah.
And speed walk up, just tap it out in between.
Yeah.
So I was happy because I knew I could do that. My body felt well, my hip flexor felt well. And off we went, we had a different support at the road there, Tristan. Did a night graveyard shift.
Yeah.
Bless him. I got some nice food down there. I had a change of tops.
Yeah.
I might have changed my socks. Can't remember. And off we went. We had we'd have Andy Ford and Paul Swindles on this one, and Paul's dog, Joss.
Brilliant.
So yeah, we were good. Straight up straight up path this time, up Skiddaw.
Had it calmed down a bit of the weather by then?
Still horrible. Straight back down. It were terrible conditions. I can't remember what I got there then. Around about on schedule.
Did you get a bit of shelter though? So when you come off Skiddaw and you're in the kind of Calvin Bogs, did you get a bit of respite from it?
Oh yeah. It's like when you're going up the main path, you cut down to the side, you get a bit of shelter.
Right.
That's not too bad. So you're hot, cold.
Yeah.
I've got to get yourself this apartment. No, get it back again. Get it back. It were a bit like that. It stopped when it stopped raining. I can't remember. I don't think it was during night it stopped raining. It were pretty much day after. But yeah, we got some good nav on there again. We found the fence from Skiddaw well.
Yeah.
We got down to Hare Crag, fine. Yeah. Sometimes you can pull right.
I've done that, yeah.
None of us fell down big holes at bottom. And straight up to Calver. Yeah, they were good. Nice little climb. And good thing is I could remember very fresh from coming the other way. So
yeah. Oh, brilliant.
It kind of helps, really.
That's true.
Being here. I don't have to come back here again now.
Yeah.
That's good. I kept eating well. I had some good food. I took plenty of food.
Yeah, you've not talked about any kind of food intolerances. Were you quite lucky all the way around? Your stomach?
I can eat anything. I've always been well.
That's good.
I don't stick with gels. With gel, a long time ago, I did a race. How Hobble, I think it was. I tried using gels, but I had so many down patches because of gels. Because I had ups, you have downs, don't you? So I've not really done them since. I don't think they burn long enough for long distance.
I think if you can keep ramming them in, they're good. Yeah. But then you get, as soon as you say let yourself a bit low, I think that sugar drop takes its toll on you. Yeah.
I did have some for the last leg. I've got some Mountain Fuel jellies. They were good for the last leg, but that's at the last leg then. But yeah, I had pizza slices with extra cheese, cheese and bean pasties. It's one of my favourites. 700 kcal per pasta. Yeah. If you chop them in half, and even if you can't chew or anything, you can suck all the insides out, and that's all right. This time, I didn't really. I ate quite a bit of them, but my favourite this time were I had some. Kids had left loads of them white Warburton's little tea cakes. Oh, wicked. I got some thin slices of cheese and loads of coleslaw. Oh, they were dynamite. They went down really nice and soft. But yeah, I had carrot cakes, almond slices, chili nuts.
Oh my goodness,
sweets, donuts, just loads of different options.
Yeah.
And if anybody else were eating some of theirs, what looked nice, capture a bit of theirs.
Have a bit of that.
But yeah, between it all, I did more treats second leg. When I set it out, I got 10 bags out. Yeah. Filled them all up, but it was loaded more with treats on the second leg than it was first, just to look forward to things.
Yeah.
And while I was eating well, first 1.5, I got loads down there, especially at the changeovers.
Yeah.
And yeah, it went well. I don't think I ever went off my food as such.
And what kind of times were you like, say, hanging around? I know you say you were saying like when you got to Keswick, you went back in the car park and stuff like that, and had a bit more of admin. What was you? Yeah, if you were hanging around, say, Dunmail, you 5-10 minutes or?
Yeah, 5-10 minutes. Just good things with schedules I'd set. Well, what I'd put on Bob Reitman's schedule. There were 18-minute stops. I never do 18-minute stops. I mean, on Lakeland 100, I never did more than 4 minutes on any of the stops. And just to keep going, and changing socks and stuff takes a little bit longer. So yeah, I'd say 10 minutes max at any stops.
To bring you, anyone who's interested in the Bob Graham round, go and check out that schedule. It is I think some of the times are a bit. I think on leg 2 definitely I was a bit slower to some of the kind of peaks, but then say coming off Seats Handle, the estimated time was a lot slower than the actual time. So there's a few little variations, but overall it's phenomenal.
They're not exactly. The splits out exactly, but they're good for your road support in chunks.
Yeah.
As I said, I want planning to be different speeds at different points. Over 130 miles, I've got about 7 different plans in my head. Yeah. So it could be any, and I can't account for them all. So I've just I keep to them blocks, and everyone's got kind of an idea then.
Yeah.
And anybody who's done my supports before know I set up like an idiot now. And everyone's got to be up early and everyone's stressing.
So how did you? So we're on leg one. Yeah, you've got quite a few choices here. We'll kind of speed it up a bit, but coming off Blencathra, yeah, what was your choice off Blencathra from leg one?
Well, I've got a friend who does the parachute descent.
Yeah,
Lee is. I don't know how he does it, but every time he nails it, it goes down. He says 100 meters, and then he traverses and he hits his rock, and there's a trot. And it takes you around everything. It's unbelievable. But every time I try doing it, can I find it?
No.
Yeah. So anyhow, neither Paul nor Andy had done it before. Just the dog had never done it before. So I said, I'll take charge here. So I had a trace on the watch. Went down, obviously with GPS. You don't get the exact trace with mountain. We didn't hit the trod, but we got around it eventually. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't going down that knuckle, but we're wet either on top of it also. But we got around it all right. We lost a bit of time on that leg again with the clag, the wind. But I got down there, we're happy. I've got that horrible bit out of the way now.
Yeah.
Of Hallsfell, both ways. We're good. We got down to the bottom. We were there. Fiona had turned up. She'd come up for the second day. She was taking pictures. Tristan, they were my good spot for there. And then swapped over to Damien Briscoe, who put the idea in my head in the first place. That's
his fault.
That's the guy who sent me the video. And then Andy Swift. Change of clothes again because it was horrible. It stopped raining by then, I think.
Oh, good.
I think it had. But it was light. And off we went. Straight up Cloughhead, up the normal way.
Yeah.
And we're good. Good nav again. Andy's very, very fast anyhow, so it was good to watch in front.
Yeah.
I started picking pace up a little bit again because the daylight were there. The nav were better.
Yeah,
the
loads better.
Calming down. Still claggy, but yeah, we did well. Pretty uneventful there. We just hit peaks.
Yeah.
Ate well. Had a laugh. We all smiled.
Yeah.
We got up to Helvellyn. It was still windy and claggy up there. I remember there's a video, and it was really, really windy up there. I think of it. And there were a stag do of people dressed as dogs.
Right. Was that no hallucination, was it?
Well, I thought, I'm not going to say out in case it is an hallucination. And then Damien went to me, must be a stag do. I thought, go for that. I'm not hallucinating. But yeah, we did well. We went up. We come down the fence post, dolly wagon, and around.
Who put a fence post there? Every time I see it, I think, who the hell's been up here putting?
It must have been Bob Graham. I think he did it. It's a really good point to find now.
Really grateful for it.
From the other way as well. If you wanted to come round and find the zigzags.
Yeah.
And people coming up the zigzags. When I came up the zigzags on the anti-clockwise, we were coming up, as I said, it was pea super, and that were a godsend with that because we knew turn right straight away and we were straight up.
No, it's fantastic. It's there.
Yeah. Well, why it's there, I don't know. I think it was Bob Graham. I put it down to him.
His fault.
Yeah. We're up, straight up, out and back on the Fairfield.
Yeah.
Really good. Nice descent off Fairfields.
And how would you descend off Dollywagon? Because it's quite steep, greasy.
Come to think of it now, I'd developed a few blisters actually on that leg. Just from time on feet. I had a bad blister problem on the Lakeland 100 because of the heat.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, because we're only 8 weeks apart, I'm not sure if my feet hadn't healed.
Quite a quick turnaround.
I mean, there weren't no blisters at the beginning, my skin had healed, but it had been soft. I'd been using surgical spirits, but I don't think it had toughened up yet.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I got some new blisters for the change. I think I was going on around from bottom of Dollywagon, going around the town.
Yeah.
That's when I felt some pop on my feet, and intense pain, so they popped. And we went up. And I'm coming back down, and Toby, who had been on the road support, coming walking up, come up to see us. He had his bagging a few Wainwrights. And so I said hello and way down. I went, my feet's done it again. And he went, oh, okay. So anyhow, I went down, up and over Seek Sandal, easy enough, and down to Dunmail, where Fiona had made me some fish finger sandwiches.
Oh, that sounds magic.
The race, yeah. So I had 2 fish finger sandwiches with extra fish finger. And I got to have a look at my feet, put some new socks on. They were blisters, but they were all popped.
All right.
Okay, cool. Got a couple of paracetamols down my neck. New socks, new top, new support now. So I got Kevin Holt and a couple of mates, Dan and Tom, and off we went. Climbed up Steel Fell really well, 20 odd minutes.
I know I recognise some of the names, but are they all familiar with the kind of Bob Graham route or the high fells, or were you baptism of fire for some of them?
There's only Martin, on the leg free reverse.
Yeah.
We'll come down Lord's Rake. Martin he's done lots of ultras.
Yeah.
But he'd never done any high mountains. So it was kind of a rude awakening for him. Because it was on a Friday when I started.
Yeah.
Martin could do that leg. So you're kind of thrown in at deep end, but I knew we'd be all right, because with me and Tom Hollins. So if you can learn off us too, you can learn off anyone.
That's not a bad pair.
But he did well. He did really well, bless him. He had a fall at one point, hurt his rib, but he's all right. But I think everyone else was all right. There were Dan and Tom on the leg 8, so leg 3 normal and clockwise. They'd not done as much as everyone else, but they did really well. So up we went, ticking them all off. Kevin Holt's a master at that leg. So we just had a really good laugh, all of us. Smiles all round. Good. Eating well again. Fish finger butties did me all right up till about Piker Stickle and start getting up again.
Well, it did well, yeah.
So yeah, I did have 2 big ones, loads of tomato ketchup. It was nice. So I started on chili peanuts up there, another favourite of mine. They're not dry, Lidl's finest. And then we went round in between Rossett and Piker Stickle both ways. I didn't decide to go down and up. I went round both times.
All right, interesting, yeah.
Just to get me running for starters and less climb, because I'll be doing enough climb that day. So I ran round both ways. So we're good. I like that route round for some reason. And I'm knocking time off again on the schedule. We went up Lord's Rake again. They both fell. Good lineup from Kevin. Fantastic lineup. Straight to top. On top, S Pike, because Dan and Tom hadn't done as much. I was worried they might not be able to keep up by that point. So Tristan, who were on road support, came up and made us bang on Escaus. We come down and they were there, and he said they just got there 2 minutes earlier. But it looked like he was just perfectly there.
He was probably hoping for a bit of a rest.
We're like, oh, thank God. And he got some water up and some treats.
Great.
Off we went. Dan was slowing down by then, but luckily, because I thought ahead there, Tristan stayed with us, and it was the first time Tristan had done Lord's Rake. And the like. So it was a good day for them.
Fantastic.
Like something off Lord of the Rings.
It's absolutely. If anybody hasn't been, some people just like go to Scarford Pike and that's it. But just a little detour, have such an adventure. Go up. Well, I don't want to send someone on and get them out and rescue out by telling people to go to Lord's Rake. You could be confident on the fells, but it's another world up there. It's great.
If you can go with somebody who's been up before. But especially on the top bit, if you're going up Westwall Traverse. If you don't like heights, it can be a bit scary. But it's a fantastic route up.
Sometimes the clag,
you've got a banister all the way up.
But sometimes the clag does you a favour too if you're not so keen on the exposure.
I remember halfway up actually saying to Kevin on Westwall Traverse, looking down, we could hear someone must have gone all the way down the screen on Westwall Traverse rather than come on the path. We could hear them at bottom, and I looked across and it's like a big rock, and I thought I could see some sheep on top. And I said to Kev, what's them sheep doing? But he saw them. And he went, I don't know, but they were really still. And he went, I don't think they're sheep. I thought, well, it can't be an hallucination because Kev's seen it as well. So
Yeah.
that was good. Yeah. But yeah, we had a really good time on that leg as well. All smiling and laughing. And it was just constant chatting and having a laugh, really. One thing, what helps when wind and rain goes into it, you can have a bit of banter, and
that's true. Yeah,
you don't have to think about everything as much. You know, I was just concentrating on my form.
Yeah.
All my little tricks to save energy.
Yeah.
Try not to keep my pace within my shoulders.
Yeah.
My footfall. Do more. I try not lift my knees.
Yeah.
If I can. There's more energy lost, especially on the rocks. Don't do bigger strides. So I don't slip.
I always try and do like fast. If I'm not that many expert, but I always try and do like say fast feet, kind of like say not big strides, just trying to be tippy tappy.
I try keeping my shoulder.
Yeah,
I'd rather do more than the longer strides, especially on the long distance like that. And I can tend to tap it out quite good there.
Yeah.
Especially up on them ranges, you can't really run. So that's where my speed walking comes into it as well. And
if like you say you're good at speed walking, that's a massive asset for. There's big sections on the bob where you were just not running at all, you know. So if you can walk fast, it's brilliant.
Not unless you're Finley or something.
That's true.
But we come down the scree bed, coming down Scarfell.
Yeah, that's great.
It's always fun until you get to the bottom, and you can't stop, can you?
Did you guys keep the rocks out then? No.
Yeah, they were fantastic. Brilliant. Yeah, I kept them on all the way down, even up bits what didn't have scree, just if there's any stones flick up in it.
Because a little it could be a couple of millimeters. It feels like a boulder in your shoe, and then it could be doing damage.
That game and putting your toes like this, don't you? And try to get it to the side. But I did a race once, Isla Jura, and I didn't have gaiters on. And I learned from then I need gaiters.
Yes. Yeah. See, I've got them, but I didn't put them on like a massive idiot. Luckily, I got away with it, but maybe not next time.
There's not too much on clockwise. Scree running as such, but yeah, I just kept them. It was good. Anyway, I got down to the bottom. Fiona was on the next leg, so I got down. Tristan were with us, but did give Fiona a spare key, so they'd set it all up for us. I felt like I had another blister on the left foot. Yeah. So I asked Fiona to have another look, and she looked, and she goes, "Yeah, there is one." So I got her to pop it, and there's a fantastic picture of me sat down. And they got me a posh pie. I don't eat meat, and I've been on about this bakery in Gosford, and it's like somebody's house, but it will close. And I gutted. But they've been to one of the shops there, and they've got me this posh veg pasty. And there's a picture of me sat there. I've got both my feet up. Johnny's putting me Vaseline on my one foot, and Fiona's popping blister on the other, and I've got a big smile on my face, talking, eating.
Honestly, occupies a lot of my time mentally is eating pies and pasties.
Yeah, it's good. It's just a day out eating and having a laugh with your mate.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I love a veggie or a cheese pasty. Yeah,
it's easy to eat. So next leg, I knew it was getting rubby dark.
Yeah. Okay.
So any down patches I do have ever are pretty dark, into dark. And then once you turn your head torch on, you start coming on a bit. Also in the morning, when you should be in bed and it's dawn. Yeah. Just before dawn, when everything goes quiet, that can be a hard patch for me. Yeah. So tactically, I put people on these legs who I'll chat to a lot, and you can have a laugh with. But I had a laugh all the way around, don't get me wrong. But I know on that leg I put Fiona and Helen. They taught me to death. And Johnny, and we did. We went out, we were telling jokes and eating melon and all sorts, and all the way up. You better didn't stop, just kept going all the way up, plodded it out. Yeah, we're good. All the way down. When I did my single bob, always when I do a bob, I tell everyone, you get to Red Pike, you've cracked the circle. That's your high point, you've done it. And every time I've got to there, I've cruised. And it was the same again. I got all the way up there because it's a big climb from a lot of people going about you better. I don't find you better bad.
Yeah.
Well, you're soon up there. It's not that big. When you think about it from Scarfell, if anybody wants to train for going up you better, go up Scarfell in reverse. You'll never ever moan about you better.
Yeah, it's true.
But once you're up you better, you forget you've got another 1,000 foot going up to.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
And that can be psychologically bad. So I think it's a good turning point is red pike and above for psychologically. You've done it. All you got to do now is cruise around. Leg board's good for knocking time off.
Yeah.
If you get decent conditions, you can knock it off. The wind had stopped. We had stars in the sky.
Oh, magic.
We could talk and have a laugh. Because the wind wasn't howling. And yeah, good. So yeah, we ticked them off. Got to Red Pike. Good time eating. Ellen had some melon, which was lovely. Nice to have something fresh. You don't eat as much towards the end, do you? But I've loaded myself up so well. I think I was all right. When we cruised around, we got it started clagging up again on Kirkfell. Well, on Pillar even. But yeah, we're coming in between Pillar and Kirkfell. We kept going high for some reason. We kept losing path. It was just like claggy. But it was so still. Yeah. And then you kept popping out and you'd see stars. It was lovely. Be back in it again.
I love leg 4. It's my favourite, I think.
It's good. That's why I like the paddy better than the bob.
Yeah.
Paddy's like leg 4 all the way around pretty much.
Oh wow,
You know, for views. It's fantastic. But yeah, straight up Kirkfell, up the red gully, halfway up, take a left. Yeah. Around instead of going all the way up. It's a lot easier if you do it that way. Yeah. And straight up, follow fence line.
Did you go down the gully actually? I forgot that. Did you mention you went down the gully?
Well, we went to right first and we found a nice trod. We brought it right. Yeah. And it brings you out at the bottom of the gully. And we'd never done it before and it was fantastic. We just went, wow, we're here, let's just do it. We couldn't be bothered going up and over. And it was a good line. Yeah, we all agreed it was a good line. Me, Tom and Paul. Yeah. Good. But yeah, going up, we got up there got to the top. Changed the top. I think I'm putting my top on and off all the time. Got long sleeves up, sleeves down. Eating well again. Got some sweets down there. Yeah. Fiona had some sugary worms.
Oh, classics.
And she kept standing there going, "You got some?" Grabbing a worm and one. And, telling jokes all the way down. Up Gable. Yeah. Got a nice, we followed line up and we kind of lost it. And because it was dark and claggy, we were like, what should we do? And we just went, you know what, let's go up. So we just went straight up.
It's a funny one again, Gable. Really, it's quite a few, not quite a few choices, but again, I've probably done it every time I've done it. It's been slightly different. It's a funny climb up there.
We popped out in that place.
You do. You seem to always pop out at the right place. But
I've looked at my trace and it looks pretty much where they've been before, but it's just hard to see, isn't it? Definitely. But we popped out in that place. Helen got that spot on path coming down. Yeah. It'll be tricky in Clag. Straight down. And happy days, isn't it? You're in Gable.
When you've done Gable, that's it really. Because all of leg 5, there's nothing significant really on leg 5. So if you've still got the legs.
Yeah. So we got to Green Gable. You know, you can just trot it out and straight down. Follow the fence line up Gondeth. Grey knots. Yeah.
There's 2 grey knots, isn't there? There's one. There's 2 I always do. So I'm facing honestly, I always go right hand. Yeah, but on a recce, I had like a big debate with my friends which one, because I'd GPS'd it. We'd go on the left one, but in reality, the best one is the right one.
Apparently, the one on what we do is 2 foot higher.
See,
it's a bit like Great End, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's a bit there, isn't there? But they're pretty much the same height. Yeah. And anyhow, Killian went to that one, so I went to that one.
If in doubt,
if he can go there, I can. So we dropped down. Tristan on night duty again, bless her. We did well. Good enough all the way down. Good laugh. Last leg, I just had Craig Stansfield on his own on that one. I got to the bottom. I got changed my shoes. I wore VJ XTRMs all the way down.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, good shoe.
Really good foot grip. And I really like them. But for the last leg with road, I wanted something a bit more cushion, so I put VJ Ultras.
Okay, another one. Yeah.
So I changed my shoes over, put my gaiters back on, just for the sake of putting them back on. Off we went. I remember Johnny saying to me, right, you've got 3 hours to record. So I thought, right. I did the first leg in 2:07. I'm sure I've got it in my legs. So I thought, right, get these 3 peaks out of the way. They're only little ones. You're halfway up there like this. It is. So got my head down and pushed all the way up and ran in between peaks. Got them all out of the way. Got his nav spot on. Really spot on. My battery went in my torch in between Robinson and one before that. Can't remember. And Scarf. And battery went. So swap battery over. Off we went again.
Yeah.
And I got to the top, Robinson, and I thought, right, smash it. So 7-minute mile, 8-minute mile.
Oh, hey.
8-minute mile, 9-minute mile, 8-minute mile. And I didn't get stung by a wasp. So yeah, bonus. Yeah, and so yeah, I got to end 4:03 in the morning.
Oh.
And yeah, it was.
There's no one there with a pint to greet you then, 4:03 in the morning?
No, I should have had 2 pints.
Yeah.
No, it was nice. It was just me and Craig. There wasn't even a pigeon. It was just quiet and lovely.
It's such a different experience for a lot of people. I've seen lots of finishes where the market's still being on or the pubs are open, but to be a silent kind of Keswick marketplace.
Yeah, and there wasn't even a pigeon. We're something different. Yeah.
And was there any, you mentioned like the VJs, any other like standout bits of kit?
Them gaiters, Solomon gaiters, ankle gaiters. I went for ankle ones as well because the higher ones I think could annoy me. Yeah. Like I said, I don't like heat, and I think if they rub my leg, I'd get too warm and bottom of my leg might itch.
Yeah.
What else? Just had my normal tops and stuff. Yeah. I don't like to. I've got loads of t-shirts what I've won from races. What I wear. So there's no big brand. Ascendancy apparel. I've got quite a few of their gear. So yeah, I wore their long tops at nighttime sections. And I got one of the vests which I doubled up on one section. Might have been the windy section. Yeah. So I doubled up with that. They've got some good kit. I wore shorts all the way through.
You've got a favourite leg?
My favourite leg would be, I like 2, like you say. I like 2 in clockwise better, I think. Just because you can run it. Really. Leg 4 is good. I like leg 3 though. Yeah. I know a lot of people ask me to do leg 3 when I'm doing.
It's a big deal. But for me, I think it was about 6 hours leg 3. Yeah. So it's a long time on feet.
Yeah, I like long times on feet. Somebody can, I know it route off by heart. I did one earlier on in the year. My mate Phil, who were on leg 4 and 5. He did it in 20 hours. Yeah, he did well. But we did leg 4 and he were way up on schedule, 2 hours on schedule, and we got down to Wasdale and none at support had arrived. His road support were there, looked like. But he turned around and looked at me. I went, don't worry about it. So I went up on leg floor, ink flag, with no map. Yeah. And I've not done it for 2 or 3 years, and I managed to navigate it all. Perfect. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, so. Yeah,
and it didn't sound like there was, but were there any wobbles? Did you ever think, oh, this is a bit too much, or I don't know, you mentioned your hip flexor?
No. There were bits where my head went down a bit, especially on where the wind and rain. Yeah. Because I couldn't talk to me and have a laugh on. I mean, on the rest of them, I'd say, well, on all of them, I had a laugh. And everyone was smiling. And everyone really had a good time, which is good.
I think you're right. When the weather's maybe a bit too much at times, and you could run the risk of going a kind of bit within yourself if you can't have that chat and distraction.
Yeah. But the thing is, I've done it many times now. Yeah. I'm quite good at pulling myself out of stuff. I don't let myself go in too deep in the first place. Yeah. That's the way to get out of it. I think you've got to give yourself little goals as well rather than big goals.
Yeah, true.
Break it down.
Yeah.
One peak at a time.
Yeah.
One scree bed at a time. Yeah.
And what does recovery look like for you? Are you hatching new plans already, or have you given yourself a good well-earned
Well,
rest?
I'm in Spain in January. So,
oh, wow.
One of the reasons for doing this now, when I did the Lakeland 100, I'd already informed everyone, said, look, I'm thinking about doing it on this date.
Yeah.
Be prepared. I might not do it. But after Lakeland, when I did Lakeland, I said, I'm not doing it. And then, 2 days later, I posted, right, I'm doing it. One of the reasons I did it, because it's a 2-nighter, was in preparation for spine, really.
Yeah.
Psychologically, it's just pushed me that little bit further. So I started the year with a paddy, then went to Lakeland 100, then done double bob, then the next steps, the spine.
There's a lot of admin, isn't there, with the spine? It's pretty much self-sufficient, isn't it?
Yeah, like that. And I got my kit down over there. It's wife's favourite time of year with this kit all over the house. But I've got loads. I have to start buying kit soon. Yeah, the bath. It's
the best bit. I love it. I love getting kit. It's like
it's madness. With spine, you just buy anything. I don't know why you just go mad. You buy all this gear what you don't need. We've got a big box overflowing.
We had Anna Troop on the show, and she won the spine, I think, the first. And yeah, she did some good tips for the prep for the spine. She did all this home cooking, and then she basically saw how long it take to go off over a period of time, and then that's how she packed it.
One at a time.
Yeah, it was amazing. Bit of admin, torches, and see how long the battery would last for that. Yeah, so there was a lot of detail went into her spine.
I've got a good torch. It's a X-Tar Warboy. It's got like the battery is what they use for vaping. I don't know, but they last for a long time.
Wow. Right.
If you put them on the 300 aluminum setting, you can get over 24 hours.
Well, yeah, people get like wrapped up in like these enormous lumens, and to be fair, 300 is.
Well, it goes up to 1,000 if you want 1,000. 1,000 only lasts for something like 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
But on something like what I've just done, or even when I did the spine, I used the same head torch, and 300 lumens is enough. See all you're seeing is it's just good to have the 1,000 to just flash it on, especially on spine. You're looking for fence posts with a little sound. Flash it across fields. It just flashes up. You can turn it down again and just head straight for it if it's not cloggy.
Oh, best of luck with the spine. And I'm just curious, any other activities apart from running to kind of keep you active?
A cross train with bike, road bike. I do all sorts. I'm a barber by trade, so I do 9 hours on my feet every day. I do a lot of toe lifts. I do all sorts of little training stuff while I'm just working. I think the time on my feet through the day does me really well.
Any movement is, I think it's a fantastic little cross bit of training. But yeah, we've come to the end now. Thanks, Mike, for giving up so much time, Dougie. I really appreciate that. But we always have a few little quick questions to end our interviews. So yeah, again, nothing too heavy, hopefully. Yeah, nothing too taxing. But yeah, first one is early bird or night owl?
Depends what I'm doing. Early bird, usually.
Early bird, yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually in bed by 10, but if I'm doing an event, I can be up for 2 days.
That's a common thing. We always like, everyone seems to be going to bed early. Beetles or stones, or neither?
I like both. So true. Depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah. Bucket list, bucket list challenge or race?
Wainwrights, I think.
Oh, very good. Interesting. Favorite post-run treat?
Beer.
Yeah. Do you do that? Do you like abscond from beer during training, or you?
Yeah, I won't have a beer for 2 months before. So much. Really, I make up for it.
Yeah, and Eddie's putting together a playlist as part of Run the Hills. We've been running it for a few weeks. If you could suggest a track for our playlist.
So I think Prodigy, Breathe.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, very good. There you go. That would be good. Save us from Eddie's Will Young and kind of stuff like that. Well, that's it for me, Dougie. Yeah, it's been great. I love a bit of Bob Graham Round chat. We do run the risk of this show becoming the Bob Graham Round show. It seems to be.
Yeah,
I've talked about it so much, but yeah, our listeners a lot of our listeners at least, they seem to love it. So I'm sure they'll enjoy your chat too. Yeah, thanks for giving up your time today. You take care.
And you take care now.
Thanks you, Gary, for sharing the love of the Bob Graham Round. And so interesting to hear that he only started jogging in 2007. So that's like 13, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
He took up running. Would you do a double?
Well, Neil keeps asking me about this. I would, the problem is it consumes so much of your kind of mental and physical being. So in theory, yes, I'd love to attempt it. But there's so much other stuff to do. It's really
yeah, I mean, it's a project for a year, isn't it?
And that's if you're successful. If you invested in it and it goes wrong, you're going to go again. So yes, I would love to do it. Would I do it? I really don't know. There's lots of other things to do out there that I've never experienced. Centurion running. We talk about this every week. I've never ventured down south yet. So
ever, not just for the running.
No, never.
Past York. Right, what's coming up this week? Beacons Ultra. 46-ish, mile mixed trail, mountain, canal, road around the magnificent Brecon Beacons. I've done this race a few years ago I think I was needing some points for something. It's a really cool race. If you do the 46, it's 2 laps. Yeah. It's about 23 miles, and you start off and you do about 6 miles along a canal, and then it heads right up straight into the beacons. 2 big climbs up. I loved it. I seem to remember it being really nice, really runnable, lots of fast stuff as well, in a really lovely area. So that's a really good, if you're looking for an ultra for maybe next year, a sort of like intro to
podium finish, Eddie, on this one for you.
Of course.
Punk Panthers short circuit, and that's in Otley, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think that's the series finale over there. So yeah, I hope that goes well over there. And Rick Downs and all the crew at Pink Panther, Punk Panther.
You're excused. We've also got happening is the XR Energy Druids Challenge 3-day multi-stay race along the Ridgeway. That's starting this Friday. Great to see that company getting back up, being able to do multi-day events again in a reasonably normal format. Again, if you've never done a multi-day, XRNG those are the letters. They are a brilliant company that offer really good entry-level multi-day. So they really look after you. You don't have to sleep in a tent, you sleep in a sports hall, but it's a really good way to experience multi-day. If you're training for anything like Cape Wrath or Dragon's Back, start your journey. Really good company to work.
That is my idea. Any sport hall, tent, village hall, on a little bloat mattress. I'm just in my element.
I've done a lot of their races when I've done training for big multi-days, or just because I love them, and I just love them. The whole, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no phone signal. Yeah. You run all day, you finish, you get packet soup and a hot white roll, and you can eat as much as that as you want. You set up your sleeping bag, there's cold showers, and then you just lie around stinking, talking to people, and then you have your tea, and then you just lie around more talking to people, and then you just get up, bit of breakfast, and then you go again. You just keep going. And that Druids Challenge is great because you start at one end of the country and you finish at the other end, and you've got no idea where you are for 3 days because you just keep running along this path. I remember finishing and going, well, how do I get, I hadn't really planned, like, where are we? Getting to Swindon train station and going, right. But they're such a lovely company, and they do stuff like they pick you up from the station. Yeah. They'll do minibus runs to and from to get you to the event and to take you home again. They can't do enough. So,
that's really good.
If you're looking to get into multi-days, you want a new challenge, you just want to get away from home for a little bit post-COVID, go and do one of those. Right, I don't want to ask what you're up to.
not a lot.
Getting better. So when you're ill, what can you do to help yourself, Gary? Rest?
Well, rest up. Try and get, I see, although I am feeling pretty down about it, definitely try and not go too off the rails with my diet. And I am a comfort eater, Eddie, so this is going to be a struggle for me. I'm not going to lie. And see how I feel. I might just not respond to it. I might not respond well to doing strength and conditioning. But I definitely have got the...
Be really careful. I don't think you need to do anything for the next few days. Just fluid.
But I could do my foam rolling, mobility. So I could do that kind of stuff. So I will try one of the strength conditions, but as the older I get, the less ego I have with my running. So if it's not feeling well, I won't do it. But yes, surely this week I can be very active on the foam roller, mobility, getting my 8 hours sleep, eating well. And I'm really upset I've not got a turbo trainer or something. At least I could. But then, I'd just be exercising.
But you're quite sick. So I think actually it might be quite a good thing that you don't, because you'd be on it tonight going, You want to be like, I'm going to rest enough that when I'm released from this, I'm better. Rather than... So
well, the risk is really great. If, the risk could be really, really serious. If I make myself really poorly, I can't really kind of go too lightly on that. And also it may prolong just my symptoms. And then I'm going to lose, even though I can go out, I don't have to self-isolate. I could lose another week's training because I'm just not feeling up to it. So yeah, take this as an opportunity. And also with Valencia, I'm kind of anxious about Valencia, but I'd rather be 10% undertrained, 5% undertrained than even 1% overtrained. So it's quite a sensitive time. Yeah. So it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. Simple as that, but not much running. No running. What about yourself?
What have I got? So I've got, hills to flat, which I've done a few times tomorrow. One more long run. I thought about doing it in the dark, but that's lost its appeal.
You don't need to. You've done that big one.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to put myself through it. It's so cold. So one more big run, one session this week, and some little mini sessions. Keep doing my strength work. Just get through this week.
Yeah.
I feel tired, but I'm fine, but I don't want to push it. So like this morning, as I said, I had the choice between a little session or a dog run. And it was kind of like, just see how you feel when you went out. And obviously I was like, I'm not that sort of person. I wish I was. If I have the choice, if it's in the plan, I'll do the session. But if I have a choice, I'll always be like, oh no. Yeah. Jog around with dogs. So I'm just gonna look after myself a bit. It's a busy week, and so no heroics, as we like to say on the podcast, don't we? I'll just be thinking of you, Gary, praying for your safe return. Otherwise, Strava's going to be low. Are you still going to give me kudos?
Well, I'll very rarely turn it on anyway. I'll probably, well, you know what? This is, it's not a good place to be when you're not running, is it?
No, it's awful, isn't it? It's awful. It's just torture. No, don't go on it. Don't go on it.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I had a blast, Eddie. Thanks again for the company this morning. And if you like the show, listeners, please like, share, subscribe, follow, leave a 5-star review over on Apple Podcast or Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. I'd like to say big thanks to Chia Charge for supporting us every week. And that was episode 63. Thanks for listening. My name is Gary Thwaites.
I'm Eddie Sutton.
And let's run to the hills.